Hello, today we're gonna do a plank workout, all plank variations. So it'll be good and challenging for your core and your shoulders, your triceps, hopefully some serratus, scapular stabilization, your shoulder blade stabilization. So I love planks. Make sure that when you do planks, you're not coning if you have diastasis, if you're, pre or postpartum, even if you're postpartum years. You don't even have to have been pregnant to get diastasis. So when you're doing a front load plank, make sure that your stomach isn't bulging out. You don't want to have that cone-like appearance, and you don't want to have your rectus abs be dominant. It should be a lot of transverse abs and obliques. So monitor that and make sure that you're using that deep core system and not compensating with your six-pack muscle. So we're gonna do 30-second intervals, and we're just gonna go through plank variations and work that core. So let's start simple. We're gonna start here. You can just start in all fours if you're in those later stages of pregnancy, or go up to a front plank. You can modify on your elbows if you have wrist pain. So you're trying to keep that back neutral and those ribs towards your spine without over flexing. So you want to be as neutral in your spine as possible. Hi, Else. What are you reading? Your knees should be soft so you feel those abs. Okay, let's go into a side plank. So you can be here on your knee, you can be here, or you can be in a full plank. So here you want to think your chin, sternum, chest bone, and pubic bone are in a line. You should tuck those ribs on the bottom side in and get obliques. You can also stagger that top leg forward. So we're gonna go the other side. Same variations. Find where you are challenged, but not too challenged where you're compensating. You should not feel neck. You can look down if you need to. But you shouldn't feel your neck like really working hard. Should be a lot of shoulder, scapular muscles, and obliques. Gotta bring it down a little bit. So think straight line. Put your arm up. Good. We're gonna go back into front plank, and let's just alternate those knee bends, trying to keep a stable core. Okay. You can do this here. So you're trying not to move that pelvis. Make sure you're not feeling a lot of back. Should be a lot of abs. Make sure you breathe. Okay, so now we're gonna go back into a side plank. So you're just gonna start here. You can do leg lifts. Okay, you can bring that in. Modifications into full plank. If you want to go here, you're going to get some tricep on that lower arm, but it won't be as challenging as a full plank. You should feel the outer hip on the top. That's it. And these abs, of course. But you're trying to only move from, next side, you're trying to only move from the hip, not by doing this thing where you're dipping your pelvis. You want to challenge the hip movement on a stable core. So that pelvis should not be moving. Is that Cookie? Cookie Monster? Make sure your pelvis is straight up and down. You're not rotating out of it. Okay, so now we're going to do where you just lift a leg, lift a leg, lift a hand, lift a hand. You can bring that down here. You can even do it in all fours. This is the most basic. Lift, 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 lift. Or you can bring it into a modified plank. Same thing. Lifting or the full plank. Try not to sway. All right, one more side with obliques. You're going to stagger your legs so your pelvis is rotated a little bit towards the ground. Reach under and up. Right, like that. Feel that lower hip working. Your pelvis can rotate a little bit towards the ground. Lots of bottom obliques. All right, other side, last round. And you can modify that too with being on your knees or elbow. Balls. You found balls? Thank you, brothers. Right? Okay, feel those bottom obliques as you turn. All right. So do that for a couple rounds to get a pretty solid core workout. Come here, else. Focusing on your obliques. Again, your neck should not be really working hard. It should be shoulders, serratus, like pushing your rib cage up in that front plank should give you some serratus underneath your shoulder blades. Think chest back, ribs in, so you have that solid cylinder and you're not going into that extension. So happy planking, stay balanced.